William Anthony Rogers, Bill to his friends, is the son of a sailor and a second-generation English Navy officer. He retired as a lieutenant 4 years ago. He has been a world traveler since then. He obtained a treasure map in the form of a fascinating piece of artwork with hidden messages and meanings a year ago in the Orient from a trusted old shipmate. He has followed the clues of the map to the New World. Bill is the coolest member of this crew because he is modeled on Will Gerard's portrayal of Buck motherfucking Rogers from the early 80s TV show Buck Rogers in the 25th Century.
Sir Randel Payne, at your service. I am the third son of an earl, so what that really means is I had a lot of money and a lot of time on my hands, so I was regaled as a youth with tales of myth and legend, much of which I come to find, might actually be real. So, taking my family fortune, I have enlisted the aid of my one of my closest friends, and we have set sail to the Caribbean to explore and find treasure, bringing glory and fortune to myself, and showing my parents that, or my father more, that I can, am worth something, and I can do something with my life. I am the coolest character on this crew because I can talk anyone out of their pants, their gold, their ship, their treasure, or whatever. I have a keen mind and a sharp eye. I am the only one studied in this thing called treasure hunting, so I will be the one to lead us to those said treasures.
John Hayden, he is a career officer. He joined the British Navy when he was 12 as a midshipman, and he has served with distinction and honour. He has recently retired from the Navy due to a terminal condition. Hayden is dying from cancer. And he, as a result, he suffers from severe pain and has turned to opium as a means to relieve some of that pain. This has led to an addiction, of course. He left the Navy because he didn't want to have his condition force him to leave the Navy as a pitiful former shadow of himself. But before Hayden dies, he wishes to find his son, which he has only recently learnt of. And the whereabouts of his son is unknown. Last evidence was that he had served upon a warship in the Caribbean. Hayden is the coolest character in this campaign because he commands the sea like no other man alive.
Davino is a Venetian and born and bred amongst the canals of Venice. Ships have always held an interest, and so one of the biggest things in this time has been the New World. However, without Italy being a major player, or Venice/Italy being a major player, he signed up with an English crew and went off to the New World and served aboard an English ship. Learned quite a few things about explosives, gunpowder, and generally how to use naval guns and cannon, as he was a powder boy. He met a monkey during an offshore visit to an island where they were looking for treasure, and he took things a bit too far with some explosives. Captain said open the door, and Davino opened the door and blew up everything else behind it, so the treasure was destroyed. But hey, Davino got a monkey. The main thing that he's looking for is that there was the captain of that ship held a wall gun, essentially just a giant musket, and Well, it turns out that the captain had given it to his brother. His brother wasn't worthy of such a fine piece of artillery. And so Davino took it. And that did not end well, but it ended in imprisonment. However, he got out, got the gun, killed the captain, and ran off and found his crew. What makes him the coolest is that he is the epitome of every problem can be solved through the proper application of high explosives. If there is a problem, just throw a grenade at it, shoot it, whatever else. If there's a problem and you don't care much about what exactly happens to anything nearby, Davino can fix that problem for you.
Claude was raised on the streets of France. He begged around the docks and got passage on Captain Maurice's ship. Maurice talked about a golden skull as a treasure map, and Claude pocketed it, where he landed with a new crew. He is the coolest because, being only 15, he will get to enjoy the treasure they find the longest.
Artegal Spenser is the ship's doctor, and he's quite mad. Should you manage to get him to talking or deep in his cups, he will claim to have once been married, but his wife was abducted by a fairy prince, known as the Master of Crows. Not only did this fae steal his beloved Rebecca away, he also took everyone's memory of her as well, which is why, according to Artegal, no one has any knowledge of the one. Recognizing that telling this tale results in people looking at him strangely, he generally keeps it to himself, though that does not stop him from sometimes reacting to sounds and noises that only he can hear. He is an old friend to Sir Randel, who does not quite recall his university drinking buddy being quite so, let's say, absent-minded. Still, Artegal is a talented physician, even for the era, and has a slightly creepy ability to always be at the right place at the right time. He is the coolest member of this crew because he might be the only one who knows that the supernatural is real. Plus, Davino's monkey talks to him.